What do first movers have in common? And what can we learn from them to elevate our leadership? This is part of my 1% Leaders series, and it's a little bit off the beaten track today from traditional leadership thinking or how leaders within a corporate environment might show up. This is taking some examples of business and seeing the sort of principle of this first mover space, how we might elevate our own leadership based on these principles. Other than the letter T, these companies were all the first to launch some kind of product or some kind of experience within a space. What companies, and because we're applying it to leadership, leaders don't think about in this first mover space is you don't necessarily have to be the first to create a product or the first to do something. Sometimes it's the execution. How you create an experience for people can be what we are a first mover on. To put it in design words, there are hidden needs that haven't previously been satisfied that are now being satisfied because you are providing something in a slightly different way or giving something completely novel. And that piece of satisfaction is what differentiates you from your competition. So hidden needs. Tesla did not invent the electric vehicle. It had, among other things, an extensive electric ecosystem and a direct sales model, which most other automotive manufacturers are still not even there so many years down the line. And this made it more accessible for people and more relevant within a changing societal context. On the same topic of hidden needs, ChatGPT might not be the best large language model. It might not be the most specific AI tool for certain topics, but it's still used by so many people because it gave something, some kind of experience that the others didn't. Both an intuitive format, kind of a chatbot format that we're all really used to, and it's free. Other models are not. All these things were by design, which is what we need to remember when we are thinking about our own leadership approach and style, what we can fulfill as leaders that other people don't. Okay, we've established that you don't have to be a first mover in terms of a product or something completely novel. You can satisfy an experience or provide something in a slightly tweaked format. You don't even have to be the best of the product or the service, but just do something in a way that fulfills a hidden need of a person. What else is important for us to know? Context is super important, both when we're considering a product and when we're considering our leadership style. The advantages of a first mover are not given. It is really important where you are a first mover in. What place are you deciding to show up? TikTok would not have been the success it is if it was launched in the Gen Y era. Firstly, technology like the iPhone, our camera, access to internet was not what it is today. But most importantly, the cultural context, the societal context was not what it is today. People were not as familiar with technology. It wasn't integrated into our lives in the way it is now. And it's taken a couple of generations, millennials, Gen Z, and now Gen Alpha, for it to integrate to the extent where it's completely normal for you to be filming something all the time and capturing all these idiosyncratic random moments of our lives that are funny and amusing and entertaining. Gen Y and Gen Z prefer to consume slightly longer form content and go into depth on that stuff. Hi, my viewers. But Gen Alpha like short form content. They have shorter attention spans and they like things coming at them all the time. Where Gen Y have the social skills to connect with people in reality, Gen Alpha are generally connecting with people through Messenger and the metaverse, and technology is an extension of themselves, which is another topic for another video, because how the workplace needs to evolve in order to cater to this, that's an interesting topic. So when we're thinking first mover, both in business and in our leadership, we need to be aware of the enabling factors that are going to make a decision or an approach successful or not. And lastly, one upside about being a first mover or providing something unique to people is the bias switching cost. This works both ways. People can perceive there is a high cost to switch to something. So there's a high cost for me to move to a new team. There's a certain level of comfort and familiarity I have in my own team. I like that. And then the alternative could be there's a high cost to not switching to a new team. Right now, I am comfortable. And if I move to a new team, I'm going to get a ton of more value and exposure to new people and new learnings. And so there is a huge cost for not switching. And this is also evident in the Thread versus Twitter debate. Will content creators lose out in their portfolio if they do not add threads into the mix. So is the number of people they gain from adding threads into the mix worth the resources that they're going to expend on adding themselves to a new platform? What is the cost of people to change to a new platform, leave one and join another platform for you? If they don't make the switch and one platform dies, then an audience on a dead platform is worthless. And of course, when we layer in optionality, there is a very low risk of adding a new platform to a portfolio other than the resources expended. And there is potentially a high upside of gaining a ton of new people who didn't engage on a previous platform. And of course, you can repurpose your content on both platforms and hit both audiences. Anyway, we're not really here to debate Threads versus Twitter. The point of this video is to think about our leadership in the context of this first mover principle. How can we as leaders do something better, solve something new, or do something different? We can use different types of design tools and methods to uncover this, whether it's for our business, whether it's for our leadership, or our personal lives. Comment if you're interested in that video. And of course, if you're enjoying my content in this leadership series, then give me a thumbs up. That helps me know that I'm on the right track for making things that you appreciate.